Hi, welcome back. I'm Stephanie and welcome to Building Your Path to Success. Today, I'm going to do a quick overview for college students who may be going into their junior or senior year, overview about what you need to do or thinking about if you're interested in going directly into graduate school or professional school. You may have recently graduated. I'm going to do a quick overview, and then later on, I will do individual topics to do a deeper dive into it. So let's jump into this right now. And here we go. So you're thinking about professional or graduate school, you know, what is my next step? What do I need to do? Remember, this is just a quick overview. These are some of the things we're going to talk about real quick. We're going to talk about what you want to study, your GPA. You always should know where you stand with your GPA because that's going to help guide you, what courses you need, standardized tests, exams, your resume, and a personal statement. This is really like the heart of the whole thing. And of course, I will do videos about financial aid and money. So what do you want to study? So this is going to be a lot different than when you went to undergraduate. Remember, undergraduate, you don't always have to pick a major that is directly connected. So even with graduate school, it's going to be close, but it's not going to always be the same because under each major, depending on what you're majoring in, there may be other majors. So same thing can happen undergraduate at times where the major may be called something slightly different, but under the same umbrella from school to school. The big one I'm going to do right now is environmental studies, environmental science, and that can change. Everything's not going to be called environmental science. There can be different variations of it. So you may want to have an idea of what direction you want to go. Always know your grade point average. You're going to see what each university wants. But when you look at graduate school, let's take a deeper dive into this right now real quick. Sometimes it's the graduate school in general, the college of, and maybe a university, let's say Temple, but maybe sometimes some schools, there's a graduate admissions and they decide who's going to come in, and sometimes it's the college itself. So each college, and I don't know if this is true with Temple, but the School of Engineering, the School of Art, the College of Art and Science, College of Art, I think is what it is. So, you know, do they admit you through the college or the university as a whole? Because sometimes if you're a professor or if you have a connection with a professor, you're slightly off, you know, maybe they can help get you in. So there's always more than one pathway. However, most of the time you should be having a 3.0 or higher. And if you don't, that does not mean you're doomed. There's other pathways. We could talk about that too. What courses are needed for the program you're interested in? This is why it's good to start thinking about graduate school while you're going into your junior year. You know, let's start thinking about it and take a deeper dive. If you want to go into a program and one of the prerequisites is Calculus 1, but in order to graduate, you may only need pre-calculus. That means that yes, with the pre-calculus, you could graduate from your undergraduate program. However, the graduate school program may say you have to have calculus. So if you know this, and if you're looking at several programs in your research, you say, this is a common course that's needed to get in out of these 5 or 6 schools I'm looking at. Maybe you could take that calculus while you're undergraduate as an elective. And that way, when you're applying for graduate school, they can see that you have that course. Now, if you didn't, that's fine. You can still take the course later, but we're just talking about let's be proactive and see what's needed. Sometimes there may be an additional writing course, depending on your major that you need. This may be a class you could take as an elective. Now, if it's going to cause heartache and trouble and you say, I just got to get out of here, you could do it later. The world will not come to an end, but this is something that we're looking at. Most graduate schools are still saying we need a graduate professional school entrance exam. And these exams are the GRE, the GMAT, the LSAT, MCAT. LSAT's for law school, MCAT's for medical school. We had the GRE and the GMAT. And when you're researching, see which exam is needed for the program you're looking at. Do they even require it? If you have a 504 plan, you know, or maybe in high school you had an IEP, and now everything's kind of converted to a 504 plan through your disabilities office while you're in college, you can get extended time on your exam. Right now, we're coming out of COVID. So I know that for a while, if you had the stuff, the programs or the updated computer, you could take the test on your computer. I don't know if that still holds true, but you can look into this. But if you need extended time, you have to get that approved first and follow the process for that. That means that while you were in college, you have gone through the Office of Disability. And yes, you can still get those same accommodations when you get into graduate school if you follow the information. Sometimes you will have to do a reevaluation to take those accommodations on to the graduate school level. I do want to say you should take your exam towards the end of your junior year, but don't wait too late to schedule it. Schedule it out, take it, you know, after all your finals and everything. I would say if you have to in your junior year, maybe you want to take it the end of May. Classes usually end in May sometime, earlier May. So take it after your finals so you're not overly stressed, and go ahead and get that exam out the way. Also, schedule another one early enough so you could take it in the fall. Now, does that mean it's easier for you to take at home, or is it easier to get up on the campus and take it, depending on where you live in school and accessibility? But you want to try to take that exam twice if you can. Every college, graduate school program that I've seen is going to ask for some kind of resume or CV. And this is because you should have been doing meaningful internships along the way. The resume is going to be a summary, one pager. They can look at it and see what you've done. However, I think in graduate school, if you've had some meaningful internships that you could write down in detail what you did in those internships, a CV is going to be a lot more meaningful and really talk about the things you did connected to your major or connected to where the area you want to go into, with a lot more detail about, you know, meaningful things that you've done in those programs. The personal statement. Now, every school is going to ask you for something a little bit different, but this personal statement is going to mean more than just your personal statement. A lot of times, depending on what your major, sometimes you have to go and research the professors. So you could talk about what you actually want to research, where you're going to be going into. And some of the professors, you may want to put in there about the professor. You're going to put your major. Your major is going to be different from school to school because every school doesn't have the same exact wording of majors. Some schools may break it down differently. So you're really going to have to not just have that personal statement, but go and do a little research under each university that you're applying to so that your personal statement can really speak to them. So that's very important as well. Now, what do you need to do? This is going to be very important. You're going to have those letters of recommendations, your application deadlines. My suggestion is that you make an Excel sheet. The name of the university, when does the application open, what's the deadline of the application, how much is the application, do they have fee waivers? Some schools say if you apply by this date, you may get a fee waiver. If you attend an HBCU, we're going to give you a fee waiver. If not, you may be able to call admissions and say, hey, I need a fee waiver. If you attend an open house, sometimes even an online open house, they will grant you a fee waiver. These fees can be $50, $75, $100, $125. If you have 5 or 6 schools, it can add up. So don't be embarrassed. Use the fee waiver. Make sure you have on that Excel sheet those application deadlines. You don't want to be doing it at the last minute. And the letters of recommendation. 9 times out of 10, the letters of recommendations are going to be from your professors who are within your field, if that's something that you're building on. Sometimes people don't build on, but if it is, it's going to want to be professors within your field who can talk about the things that you've done while you were at the college or university. Your professors do not want to wait until the last minute. A lot of times on the online applications, they are given, you had to put the professor's name in and their email address, and the school will send them a link. Sometimes you have to give the professor the link. So it works differently, but keep up with this. Now, if you're younger and you're hearing me talk about these things, keep in mind, I will eventually need these professors for my recommendations. So you can start thinking about that now. That's it. So basically, this is a quick video on, getting ready for graduate school. I will go back eventually and do a video on financial aid and all these other subtopics. But this is a good little video to get you started. Start thinking about graduate school. Oh my goodness, I should be taking the test at the end of my junior year. Keeping that resume updated. Good luck to everyone. And yes, I will come back and talk about financial aid because there's money out there. No need to go in debt to try to move ahead in life. People don't talk about this enough. Good luck, and I will talk to you later. Until next time, take care.